More than 4 hours after the historic Majestic Hotel goes up in flames, firefighters still working to put out the blaze. Good evening and thank you for watching tonight. I'm Christina Munoz.
And I'm Scott Inman. We are live just off of Park Avenue in the Spa City tonight, where, as you mentioned, Christina, the Majestic Hotel is still burning tonight, but it is somewhat contained. Now, the good news is we can tell you it was a vacant building. The bad news, of course, enormous historical significance to the city of Hot Springs. Many of our viewers will remember the Majestic Hotel in its heyday, but it's a sad ending for the hotel tonight. It had just recently been boarded up. It had been closed since 2006. Now, as far as what caused the fire, that will, of course, be under investigation over the coming days. We are joined right now by Hot Springs Fire Chief Ed Davis with a little bit more on this blaze. And first of all, I guess let's get the updated status, Chief, if you would, on is the fire somewhat contained at this hour?
Yes, sir. It's contained to the building of origin. You know, it's blacked out in most areas. You can see behind me, guys have done a really good job on working the perimeter of the building with the deluge sets, aerial devices and all. And we've been joined by Lake Hamilton Fire Department, one of our sister agencies in Garland County. 70 West Fire Department also has given us assistance on this. But, you know, primarily we still have some fire burning in the rear of the building. We've had collapse of a large roof section in that portion. It's making it kind of difficult to get to it.
You were telling me just how old this building is means that you're not going to risk any firefighter lives. Nobody has gone in the building tonight.
No, sir. The building was in very poor condition prior to the fire. And so, you know, we do pretty thorough building surveys in Hot Springs. And, you know, for this very reason, you know, pre-fire planning is very, very important. You fall back on that whenever you have a major disaster like this. And, you know, our pre-plans told us basically that the building, because of its structural issues, because of the fact that it has been pretty much open to the weather, holes in the roofs, things like that, it was just too risky to put people in the building.
And since it's been closed for so long, do you have any idea if utilities were even connected to it?
No, sir. There wasn't like natural gas service to the building or electrical service. There was a small amount of electrical service to an office area right here, but none in the yellow brick building, which is on fire right now.
Well, we know it's been a long day for you. We appreciate the time out and talking to us tonight.
Thank you.
That's Ed Davis, the Fire Chief of the Hot Springs Fire Department. We bring in Channel 7's Maureen Glisovic now. We talked about the historical significance of this building, and you've been talking with some residents here in the Spa City tonight, and many of them are really sad to see this hotel
many
go
are.
up.
I mean, I spoke to one woman whose grandfather helped build the Majestic back in its heyday, and it's amazing some of the reactions. People have just been really just speechless. The entire town just watching history going up in flames. Many are just hoping that this building can be salvaged, although many just aren't sure. Now, there are several departments out here, fire departments, Hot Springs, clearly, Lake Hamilton, you know, Fat Jack's over here. There's a business, Fat Jack's Oysters Bar and Grill. They've been bringing foods over to some of the fire crews and just kind of helping out. Like Scott had mentioned, some sections of this building had been boarded up just a few weeks ago, and as the crowd continues watching, some even speculate there may be asbestos in the air just because of how old this building is. But many just say the worst part of watching this is just history going up in flames.
The history major in college, and it kind of brings a tear to my eye to see such a historic building with so many historic faces that could pass through it just go down in flames.
This is a tragic day for us in Hot Springs. This is history right here. I'm just at a loss for words because ever since I was a little girl, I have driven by this place. It's been a part of our lives.
It's just been really devastating for many people just watching this. I mean, I've been here since earlier, and it's just crazy.
Now, we should point out it is just one of many buildings on about a 5-acre campus here, so there are some buildings that will remain upright tonight. But even when they shut down the firefighting portion of this, we are pointing out, or we are told, that tomorrow the 100 to 200 block of Park Avenue will be shut down to through traffic. So if you live in Hot Springs and you're watching us tonight and you need to go down that road, you're going to need to make plans for an alternate route. That is the latest for now from Hot Springs. We'll send it back into the Little Rock studio. Christina.
Welcome back. We want to return now to the fire at the historic Majestic Hotel in Hot Springs. Scott Inman has been live there tonight, and we understand there's been a little bit of a flare-up again.
Yeah, I would say so, Christina. I'm going to back out of the frame here and let you take a look at the flames are getting a little bit higher there. We told you earlier that the roof had partially collapsed on the back wall, and you can kind of see that red glow on top of the building. But then right below that now, in one of the upper floors, you can see where flames are burning, clearly burning the ceiling in that one window. And earlier, the flames were really kissing up against that glass. And the firefighters had really directed a lot of the water right on that glass, and for the moment had saved that from being blown out. And then right after that, we saw a lot of gray smoke coming out of some of the windows in the upper floors as well. And now you really see the flames kicking up there on the top of the building. So obviously this is going to be a long night for firefighters here, and at least a half dozen to maybe even a dozen trucks on hand putting the water on top of it. They believe they have it contained from spreading, keeping it from spreading to other buildings, and that's the good news. But it certainly looks like the old Majestic Hotel, which we're told is the oldest hotel in Hot Springs, is going to be a big loss. Very sad night here in Hot Springs. We will have the latest on the battling of the blaze and also the investigation into what caused it tomorrow morning on Daybreak. I'm Scott Inman back at the Majestic here in Hot Springs. The fire spreading now. In fact, we were just told by fire crews that we're going to have to back up because they're going to move the fire trucks back to get a better angle as this fire continues to burn tonight. It's going to be a long night for firefighters. We'll have the latest on the blaze and the investigation into the cause tomorrow morning on Daybreak.
A historic Hot Springs hotel in business for 124 years is destroyed by a fire. Crews have been working overnight to battle the fire at the Majestic Hotel. This morning, Channel 7's Chris Kane is there live with the very latest. Chris, good morning to you.
Good morning, Allison. Yeah, we're reaching the 12-hour mark since crews first arrived on the scene yesterday to the fire that started on the 5th floor at the Majestic Hotel, an abandoned hotel since 2006, but so much history here in Hot Springs. This hotel housed Al Capone whenever he was back in his heyday as a gangster. Also baseball teams from the 1920s, including the likes of Babe Ruth. So a lot of history here, and that's why hundreds of people gathered to watch and see what was happening last night here on Central and Park Avenue. Now behind me, crews are still working. They've been flooding this place all night long, trying to find a way to put the fire out. And there are still signs of flames in the back of the building. That's where they're trying to keep the fire from getting to. But the issue that Fire Chief Davis says with this building is his crews are having to work through it, and the building is so old they can't really get to all the places they need to get to.
You know, the Majestic complex is about 5 acres. It's actually 5 different buildings, you know, that are built in different stages, beginning in 1890, 1928, and then 1959. So, you know, you've got a lot of different styles of technology and construction used in the building, so it makes it very, very difficult, especially the 1890 section. That's the portion that's on fire right now. It's primarily brick clad with a wood frame interior, a lot of what we would refer to as vertical shafts.
Now, those vertical shafts is what's making this fire spread so quickly. If you can look on the top right there, we just saw some signs of flames kind of making their way up to the top of the building, and now all the water is being forced into that area of the Majestic Hotel. So still on fire. 12 hours later, crews are going to be working throughout the morning. And also a quick traffic note for you. Park Avenue here from the 100 block to the 200 block is going to be closed all morning long. And even Bathhouse Row coming in was blocked off. So traffic in Hot Springs also going to be an issue this morning. We'll keep you updated right here on Channel 7. Live in Hot Springs, Chris Kane, Channel 7 News.
Wow, still burning this morning. You can see the flames as you mentioned, Chris. What about townspeople? We know that last night when this was really blazing, there were a lot of people out there that were talking about it, reminiscing about the things that went on there.
Yeah, and even you and Melinda talking about how old this place was and how really a lot of people have stayed here at one point back in the heyday. This was truly a Majestic Hotel. It lived up to the name. It was grand. It was lavish. And really over the years, it kind of broke down. And that's why it was boarded up back in 2006. Boarded up last week again to try and make sure that it kept people out. But as you can see, did not keep this fire from starting. And we'll try to figure out if we can get some information throughout the morning, because the big question now is how did this fire start? And crews are uncertain because they haven't been able to get inside the building yet. We'll keep you updated.
Certainly a big loss, Chris. We'll check back in with you a little bit later. Melinda, thank you. As we've been talking about all morning long, a historic Hot Springs hotel in business for 124 years is destroyed by a fire. Crews have been working overnight to battle the fire at the Majestic Hotel. Channel 7's Chris Kane is there live this morning with the very latest. Chris, I know when you got there early this morning, crews were still working, and it looks like they're still working at this hour as well.
Yeah, Allison, I don't see this ending anytime soon because of the fire that is still engulfed in the back of the building. We showed you this earlier. When we first got here, there was just a dim orange light coming from the back of the Majestic. Now you can see flames actually making their way to the top of the building. The vertical shafts is the big issue here, and that's allowing the fire to spread throughout this old building. Now, it was abandoned in 2006. As you mentioned, 124 years in service here in Hot Springs. Something that's historical. It's on the baseball trail here. Former major league teams, the Brooklyn Dodgers, the Boston Red Sox, stayed back here in the 1920s. And for the hundreds of people who gathered here last night, the toughest part was watching a piece of history burn here in Hot Springs.
I was a history major in college, and it kind of brings a tear to my eye to see such a historic building with so many historic faces that could pass through and just go down in flames.
This is a tragic day for us in Hot Springs. This is history right here. I'm just at a loss for words because ever since I was a little girl, I have driven by this place. It's been a part of our lives.
And we'll, of course, keep you updated here throughout the morning as fire crews continue to work. And also a quick traffic note for you. Park is going to be closed. Park Avenue here, the 100 to 200 block throughout the morning. And I don't see that being open anytime soon as long as that fire continues to rage. We'll bring you more updates live here in Hot Springs. Back to you, Allison.
Chris, thank you. We'll check back in with you in a bit. Crews have been working since 5:30 yesterday to extinguish the fire at the Majestic Hotel in Hot Springs. Channel 7's Chris Kane is there live this morning with the very latest. As the sun comes up, maybe you can't see the flames as well, but all morning long they have been battling flames this morning.
Yeah, Allison, the back of the building right now is where the flames are still continuing to rise. And like you said, now that the light's coming up, the flames have kind of dimmed down a little bit, but look at the smoke. The smoke is what you can see now. There is certainly a fire back there, and it is continuing to burn. Earlier, there were 5 hoses working at one time to try to extinguish it. Now there's only 2, and they're focusing all their attention on this side of the building that we're currently on. In that little corner, you can see where the flames have been coming up all morning. Now, no injuries to report this morning. Of course, it's an abandoned building. It's been abandoned since 2006. Crews have been working well through the night, and it looks like they're going to be working much longer here until this is extinguished. A traffic note for all those who are traveling through Hot Springs, especially the downtown area today. All of Bathhouse Row is blocked off when we came in early this morning. Don't expect it to open up anytime soon. And Park Avenue, the 100 block to 200 block, will be closed until this is all cleared up. More updates throughout the day on Channel 7 and on Facebook and Twitter. Back to you.
Yeah, we'll have the very latest for you coming up tonight on Live at 5. Chris, thank you.